very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're watching KUTV Weekend Live. Let's get the highlights. Kenyatta University hosts this year's annual Interfaith Thanksgiving Prayer Service at the university grounds, emphasizing the need for interdenominational unity. Youths advised against use of drugs and substance abuse in order to ensure their productivity in the country. Relief to Kenyans as the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority reviews fuel prices downwards effective midnight tonight. And mixed reactions as Kisii residents decry of impacts brought about by the ongoing doctor strike that has partially paralyzed the health sector. Remember, we are also live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya, and you can send us your feedback on X at KUTV_Kenya at Anyango Sylvia KE. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Daisy Mwangi and Anyango Sylvia. We begin. As the 2023-2024 academic year draws to an end, Kenyatta University today organized its annual interdenominational Thanksgiving prayer service, where religious unity was emphasized as a crucial pillar in the nation's growth. In attendance were the Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu and the Second Lady Pastor Dorcas Rigathi. Our very own Caroline Kimwele attended the service and filed this report.
Kenyatta University Vice-Chancellor Professor Paul K. Wainaina led the university community in interfaith prayers and worship at the Amphitheatre Hall, an event attended by some of the national leaders. Second Lady and spouse of the Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, and an esteemed guest at the service emphasized the importance of unity among all religions, as it is the cornerstone of peace and humanity in society.
What forms you, the DNA that runs in you, can never be denied. And both the Muslim faith and the Christian faith, we have undeniable origin. We have God who is our Father.
Be focused, be a good Christian, be a good Muslim, because a good Christian follows the characteristics of Jesus Christ.
Vice-Chancellor Professor Paul K. Wainaina took this opportunity to elaborate on the university's achievements and the steps it has taken in the 2023-2024 academic year.
We are glad that our academic programs in different modes have run smoothly both the first and second semesters. Indeed, all the students gathered here today have inched closer to the attainment of their certificates, diplomas, degrees, qualification, and all the other qualification.
As a university, as large a community as we are, under the wise leadership of the Vice Chancellor, we have been able to pull through together with the students, the staff, the management, the council, and we really want to thank the guidance of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Paul K. Wainaina.
The service also provided an opportunity to mourn those who lost their lives in last month's accident at Maungu, wishing a speedy recovery to the injured, with 17 of them being discharged and one at hospital in a critical condition at ICU.
We are staying strong for those who have been hurt. And more particularly, ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman that is in hospital, we must not be carried away by the luck that we have gotten, particularly after the burials, that we still have one of us, and we must pay him that deserving attention.
All these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. These words resonate deeply with us, offering comfort and courage as we navigate the turbulent waters of life.
Kenyatta University organizes this interfaith worship service every year, where the entire university community comes together for prayers, marking the end of an academic year. Caroline Kimwale, KUTV.
At the same time, during this year's Kenyatta University Interfaith Thanksgiving Prayer Service held earlier today at the university's amphitheater, students have been urged to stay away from drugs and substance abuse and utilize the opportunities they have in shaping their future. Cabinet Secretary for Education Ezekiel Machogu, while addressing the congregation, noted that the greatest asset the country has is the youths, and they ought to be productive. The Second Lady, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, on the other hand, emphasized the need of having such conversations to reduce road accidents as well.
The kind of national development, the socio-economic development that we are undertaking, our greatest asset and resource as a country is our young people. And what we are doing in giving you the necessary required skills and competencies, the knowledge you are getting here is to prepare you adequately so that you can be able to participate in an effective manner in the nation building of this country.
Still in Kenyatta University, leaders including the wife of the Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, have pledged their support to the chairman of the Kenyatta University Student Association, Robert Bonaya's presidential bid. Bonaya expressed his ambition to become the President of the Republic of Kenya come 2050 at the university's amphitheater on Sunday. Additionally, Cabinet Secretary for Education Ezekiel Machogu urged youths to avoid following negative peer influence and stay focused to achieve their leadership aspirations.
This nation is a nation of youthful people, and that perhaps one day, one time, young people should take up podiums and say, support my bid for presidency. So I do affirm that I have an opponent in 2050.
And I must tell my son there, you are not the leaders of tomorrow, you are the leaders even of today. I think you have given your case, and at 84, 85 there, I will vote for you.
And the young people of Kenyatta University, including my friend who wants to be the president of this country in another 26 years, be focused. Don't ever accept peer pressure, negative influences to influence your life, because if you so do, then for sure your life is ruined, and even as a country, we will not be able to achieve the kind of targets we have set.
Switching gears to a happy story tonight. Now, motorists can now breathe a sign of relief following this month's fuel prices review by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, EPRA. In a statement released earlier today, EPRA announced a reduction in price of super petrol by 5 shillings and 31 cents, while kerosene and diesel decreased by 18 shillings and 68 cents and 10 shillings, respectively. With these changes, super petrol will now retail at 193 shillings and 84 cents in Nairobi, while diesel will be sold for 180 shillings and 38 cents Kerosene will also be sold at 170 shillings and 6 cents. These changes will be effective as of midnight tonight.
We are seeing a reduction starting from midnight tonight of 5 shillings and 31 cents for the super petrol grade, 10 shillings for the diesel grade, and 18 shillings and 68 cents for kerosene.
Now, days after the Salaries and Remuneration Commission proposed that salaries paid to civil servants should not exceed 35% of the total revenue collection, Suna West Member of Parliament Masara Peter Francis has told off the government against the proposed deduction, saying that the move will be unjust. Masara has, however, called on the government to tackle corruption instead.
The inflation rate in Kenya has gone up compared to other financial years. That means the ability of workers to purchase has been compromised. If you attempt to reduce the salary again, actually it will show that we are not sensitive to the needs of our people. I'm against purchase of new vehicles. I'm against renovation of building which can wait. I'm against investment which are not bringing much the needed rejuvenation of the economy. But I'm for any initiative which can stabilize the economy of our country.
Now that story takes us to a very fast break on the bulletin tonight. Don't go far, we'll be back with more.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni dunia ni leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Maisha yake amelelewa kama mtoto wa kike.
Levi Blessing, but basically people have known me before by the name Beatrice.
Akifahamika kwa jina Beatrice, baba yake mzazi akamtoroka kwa kukosa kuelewa alikuwa mtoto wa jinsia gani.
Usually told that, my father, separated with mom after, realizing that I'm an intersex.
Ila sasa anafahamika kama Levi Blessing na ana mke.
Now at least my certificate and my IDs now, at least they can lead the name Levi.
Fahamu jinsi Levi Blessing alikabiliana na panda shuka za utata wa jinsia na Midorodi Musyoka Alhamisi hii hapa runinga ya KU.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground. Every Thursday and Saturday at 9 p.m. only on KUTV.
What are some of the ways through which you can develop these skills so that we are comfortably fitting into the job?
You have to put yourself in positions where you are uncomfortable. Uncomfortable in the sense that you are not clear about what to do.
Because I used to work a corporate job before. So when I left, I happened to visit someone's farm around this area. So this project is called Security Breach Detector and Furnace Familiarize. It is meant to be used to detect, detonate explosives. We'll tackle all the tough issues, discuss all the weird moments, and hopefully share a few laughs along the way.
Welcome back. Remember to keep engaging with us on our social media platforms, on X at KUTV_Kenya and on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. As the seemingly prolonged doctor strike continues, a section of residents in Kisii County have expressed mixed reactions regarding the strike, which has so far lasted a month. Among those interviewed were civil society activists and political party leaders who expressed concern about the state of healthcare and the well-being of patients. This story was produced by Linda Momani. Listen in. Due to the ongoing health workers' strike, which has lasted over a month, a section of residents in Kisii County have reacted differently to the situation. This is as the striking workers insist that their cause is justified. Isaac Newton, an activist, alleges that the national government is bent on dividing the workers in order to avoid having to address their grievances. Newton has, however, urged the workers' union to assemble their members and set a date with President William Ruto to seek a way forward to resolve their grievances. Charles Mogaka, a Ford Kenya official, compared the medic strike to a natural calamity where each party had lost, urging the striking workers to return to work unconditionally.
So ningeomba madaktari wetu waweze kuregeza msimamo wao, warudi wasaidie wananchi. Pesa zikipatikana wanaweza pata, sababu ile ndogo iko wataweza saidika.
Human rights lobbyist Stephen Obiri shared the similar sentiments, accusing the health workers of frustrating the president's efforts in fixing the economy. Obiri urged the striking medics to report to duty as their issues were being handled.
Na kwanza nataka kumuhimiza rais, nataka kuwahimiza Council of Governors. Hawa jamaa wameshindwa kazi. Wanayouliza sio kwa uzuri wa jamii ya Wakenya, wana madai yao fiche, wanataka kutumia kupitia hapa kufanyiwa.
The legislators are pleading with the government to have a human heart towards the suffering patients across the country who are unable to access medical care due to the medic strike. Switching gears to news across our borders now, since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, divisions have risen in Congress over sending military aid to Kyiv. VOA's senior Washington correspondent Caroline Prisuti explains how the two presidential frontrunners differ on how to handle the war. VOA footage by Mary Cieslak and Adam Greenbaum.
For 2 years, an all-out war in Ukraine. This week, the U.S. approved the sale of $138 million of upgraded equipment for Ukraine's Hawk air defense systems that counter Russian missile strikes. In his State of the Union last month, President Biden said Ukraine needs U.S. support to stand up to Russia's invasion.
If anybody in this room thinks Putin will stop at Ukraine, I assure you he will not. Ukraine can stop Putin if we stand with Ukraine and provide the weapons that needs to defend itself.
Since the invasion began, the Biden administration has imposed sanctions on Russian individuals and entities and sent $75 billion in assistance to Ukraine. As the son of a Ukrainian immigrant, Stephen Cassels says he will vote for Biden.
Watching the war there and watching Putin and watching the people that, for me, unfortunately, President Trump has aligned himself with, at least emotionally, is very scary.
It's an honor to be with you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
During his presidency, Donald Trump maintained a close relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin. 5 years later, he called him a genius for invading Ukraine. The Washington Post reports that Trump has said he would end the war by pressuring Ukraine to cede land to Russia. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky calls that a primitive idea. At a recent rally, Trump recalled a conversation he had with a country leader delinquent on NATO payments for Ukraine.
Well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, no, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay.
Biden and Trump differ greatly over how to end the war in Ukraine.
President Trump has made a promise to the American people, and they can trust that he will deliver on it to end the war in Ukraine, to negotiate a peace deal with both sides.
And that's why Isaac Geer of New Hampshire will vote for Trump.
It's really important to me that we stay out of any foreign wars and keep our military spending down.
Meanwhile, a bill to send $60 billion in military aid to Ukraine has stalled in the U.S. House of Representatives. Carolyn Persutti, VOA News.
And the United States military says large groups of drones and ground robots can be managed by just one person without added stress to the operator. As VOA's Julie Tabo reports, the technologies may be beneficial for civilian uses too. VOA footage by Adam Greenbaum.
Field experiments at a government training facility demonstrate that a single human can manage a swarm of 100 or more autonomous drones and ground robots without added stress, according to the U.S. Defense Department's research agency, DARPA. The Swarm Commander uses a virtual reality interface to deploy and monitor the vehicles within a 10-block simulated environment. Their mission: to navigate the urban environment, avoiding obstacles and power lines to collect intelligence.
The Swarm Commander can basically hit a single button to issue multiple tactics to the swarm, so that the swarm can go out and do the things that it's supposed to do, such as look at a building and try to identify information that's relevant to the mission.
The findings show potential for military as well as civilian purposes, such as sending out drones to respond to natural disasters.
The long-term dream goal is actually to be able to have heterogeneous teams of robots working alongside teams of humans in something like wildland fire response or disaster response in order to have a true societal impact. We want to be able to have humans focus on the tasks that they absolutely must do, that robots really can't do, but also ensure that our responders, for example, are safer, that we're giving them technologies that help them to deal with the situations that they are in.
Drones can also be used, and in fact are already being used, for speedier package deliveries.
Currently, the FAA regulations limit how many vehicles a single individual can supervise in doing these kinds of tasks. And in the future, we would like to be able to scale that number up for a single individual. The results that we obtained in this paper are the first objective results that demonstrate that a single human can be responsible for very large numbers of these vehicles, and will help inform future FAA regulations and the future directions of the delivery drone companies.
The program is still in development, but researchers say their findings may quickly have impacts overseas as well as in the U.S. Julie Tabo, VOA News.
Now that story makes us take our second break on the bulletin tonight. Don't go far because sports is on the other side of the break.
Access to knowledge. Solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
You need to look for high quality friends.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, Portmore. That's my village.
Kanga tu chini hapo ukinyanyia ukikatia mademo akipita.
Sina pesa saa hii, nimekuja kukopesa choo.
From the hospital corridors, we bring you experts to discuss issues affecting your health, from diet to mental health. The familiar and the ignored are both put into perspective. We then dive into the environment and look at the effects of climate change and its solutions. Join me, Mutegi K. Martin, every Friday at 9 p.m. as we learn on how to better our health while taking care of our environment. Only on KUTV.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
Welcome back on to the last bit of the broadcast tonight. And in sports tonight, Talanta FC defeated Tusker FC in today's match at the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos County after scoring 3 goals against Tusker, who managed only 1 goal. Moments before the halftime, Talanta FC player December Kisaka scored the equalizer. The second goal by Talanta was scored 2 minutes after the hour mark. The third goal came 20 minutes later from Mike Jairo. This comes as AFC Leopards beat Posta Rangers after scoring 1 goal to 0. Now that is it from us. Thank you so much for keeping us company. On behalf of the production team, we couldn't say much, but thank you for being with us. Keep engaging with us on our social media platforms, on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya, at KUTV Kenya, and on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Anyango Sylvia KE. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Daisy Mwangi and Anyango Sylvia. Have a good night.